Hi everybody, it's Jeff from Ayelet Tours, and since 1986 we've been connecting people to Israel and the Jewish world. We are the official partners of the American Conference of Cantors, not just for this upcoming trip, but for many past journeys. I imagine many of you out there watching have joined us either most recently in Argentina last February, shortly before that on an incredible trip to Eastern Europe, or maybe even earlier when we went together to Cuba. These trips are really extraordinary. Beyond the touring that they offer, the elevated level of traveling with a group of cantors who can bring a spiritual musical element cannot be overstated. It's really absolutely incredible. And going to Morocco itself is an experience. We're going to talk about a lot of that this evening. Order of events for this evening, of course, this is a webinar. It's not a Zoom meeting, which means you can see the five of us, hopefully. We cannot see you. That means you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this program. It is recorded, so if you know of others who are interested in learning about this trip, you'll be able to share that recording with them. We will send a link out afterwards and, of course, post it to the tour website. Once we get through the formal presentations, we are going to open it up to questions and answers. But of course, we can't see you, so you can't raise your hand. So how do you participate? At the bottom of your screen somewhere is a Q&A function. You're going to post any questions you have in there. I will moderate. We'll get to as many of those as possible. And so to start us off for a welcome and hello, I will turn it over to the Chief Executive of the American Conference of Cantors, Rachel Roth.
Hi, thank you, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on Morocco 2027. We are so excited that you have joined us for this session, and we hope that you are excited by what you learn on this session, and you click the link at the end of the webinar and you register to join us. These trips are amazing. Cantors Franco and Scher and the rest of our Cantor team and Judy Cole and everyone who comes with us just makes these trips so extraordinary. They are truly once in a lifetime opportunities that we kind of have over and over again, but going to different places. So if you have not joined us, please consider joining us on this trip. And ask any questions you have, as Jeff said in the chat, and we hope to see you, if not beforehand, in Morocco. Jeff, all yours.
All right, thanks, Rachel. Before I turn it over, I want to share one quote. I was in Morocco recently, and one of the participants at the end sent a note, and I'm going to read it because it was so nice, and I don't want to screw up the wording. What they wrote to us was, quote, "Visiting Morocco added multicolored fibers to my Jewish tapestry." It was such a beautiful phrasing of what a trip like this can do. For so many of us, our kind of formal Jewish education, a lot of times it focuses, of course, on biblical history, on Israel, maybe European history in the 20th century. But the Jewish world, of course, is much wider than that, and the stories are incredible. So this opportunity we have coming up is one place where you get to kind of expand your understanding of what it means to be part of the Jewish world. So, and one of the ways we will do that is through music. So we are very lucky to be led musically, spiritually on this trip by Cantor Tracy Scher and Cantor Claire Franco, who will be co-chairing this trip. So I'm going to ask them to say a few words. They were just in Morocco recently on a pre-trip trip to talk a little bit about their experience and what we have in store for you coming up.
Thanks, Jeff. So I'm Tracy Scher. I am the cantor at the Temple in Atlanta, Georgia. This is my fourth ACC trip, both as a participant and as a person who helps to create and implement the parts of the itinerary that include music, concerts, Shabbat experiences, all kinds of different musical moments. And while some of my congregants who have joined these trips are musically involved or just music appreciators, there are always those who go who are neither. And while music is certainly a part of the itinerary, you should know that by no means do you need to be musical. It's certainly an added bonus, but there's so much to see and there's so many relationships to be had that the music piece is just icing on this amazing cake. And I just wanted to let you all know, while these trips often have a lot of participants, there are many moments where we travel together as a bus group. And those are moments in which small group experiences and memories really come to life. If we had more time, I'd share with you some great video footage of the bus I was on, which we shared with Larchmont Temple. And the videos are of us traveling from Prague to Krakow. It was like a 7-hour drive. And at a certain point, Cantor Katie Orangel whipped out a bag of kazoos and we all played Name That Tune. And it lasted at least for an hour or two. But this is really the beauty of it all, that people from different congregations meet and they spend time with each other and they create these lasting friendships. Personally, besides the relationship building part of this, there's nothing that's more exciting than standing side by side with musicians from other congregations and local musicians to create these musical moments that truly are transcendent. So if you're interested in going and you do have musical experience, either as a singer or as an instrumentalist, you will have the opportunity, if you like, to join the cantors and the local musicians in at least one of the musical experiences. So my friend and my colleague and my musical co-chair partner in crime is Cantor Claire Franco, who I'm going to turn it over to now to speak more about the experiences that we had while we were on a short visit just over a week ago.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. I will begin with an apology to the people who traveled on my bus from Prague to Krakow who did not get to participate in the kazoo Name That Tune, but I'm putting that away for the ride from Marrakesh to Essaouira or the Marrakesh to Casablanca. So we had the amazing experience of being in Morocco. I probably, like many of you, had no idea what to expect. I didn't. I was a little. I don't say nervous, but a little whatever about traveling to an Arab country, and I came away with such a deep respect for the Moroccan people, and they are so. The people that we met, both sort of intentionally and unintentionally, are so committed to coexistence and pluralism and understanding Judaism. There's a rich Jewish history in Morocco that's layered into modern life. We met so many people where we weren't quite sure if they were Muslim or Jewish because they seemed to know so much about both, not just musically, but religiously and spiritually, and understood our faith. There was a mosque with Jewish stars, and just the cross-culturalization was really impressive and really exciting. We had a wonderful experience with musicians who practice a tradition called Ganawan music, which is sort of their version of what I would call a Hasidic nigun, melodies without words. They dance, they have dances, and they associate colors with it. And we're looking at doing Kabbalat Shabbat on the beach in Essaouira, and inviting them to participate and mixing up nigunim and Islamic melodies and music for everybody to learn. Tracy and I learned with a woman, Arab singer who also prided herself on being educated in Jewish learning. But really everywhere we went and every experience we had, we felt welcome and included and warmly appreciated for our Jewish identity and what we brought to their culture. The shopping is unbelievable. Bring an extra suitcase. Tracy and I drove Daron a little bit crazy, needing to go to the market. Where everywhere we went, there's an amazing shuk market that is just an experience all of itself. But we scouted locations, like I mentioned, Kabbalat Shabbat on the beach. We went to a sort of glamping site in the Agafay Desert where we're hoping to do our closing party and musical experience overlooking the Atlas Mountains. And we've started to lay groundwork with a lot of local musicians that are not just willing, but really excited about meeting a lot more American Jews and making music with them or making music for them. So whatever your preference is, I think you'll find it a really exciting and amazing experience. So I'm going to kick it back to you, Jeff, unless somebody wants to put questions in the. Oh, we have some questions already.
No, but we'll get through the program. But thank you, Claire. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing from your experience. And actually, we actually do have a short video from the time you were there. I'm not sure if we want to share it now or we can do it after the program, but I can try. It's always my favorite thing with any Zoom is to actually try to get these things work. So sometimes the sound is wonky, but we'll give it a go. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen there. All right. So let's give it a try here. Oh, that was weird. Okay. There it goes. Oh, there we go. And he said this. You hear it okay or? Hey, that's a quick taste of a few things, and a few of those were pictures from when you guys were over there. I don't know if we posted or if the ACC posted any footage from the actual interfaith concert that you guys participated in. But if not, you got to get some of that up there because it was absolutely incredible what you guys got to participate in. And we'll talk a little bit more about what Cantor Franco mentioned in terms of both the recognition and the commitment to interfaith dialogue that you're going to experience when you're with us in Morocco, and that is really foundational. It's something that we'll talk about during the formal presentation. So there's only one of the Hollywood squares here that hasn't spoken yet. So my colleague Doron Epstein, who happens to be sitting in Europe, he lives in Prague, is going to be from our side point of contact and has been very instrumental already in the vision for this program. He joined Cantor Schur and Cantor Franco in Morocco last week. And so, Doron, before we get into the actual, I can bring up the PowerPoint. We're going to do a short PowerPoint and then we'll open it up to Q&A. Just want to offer you an opportunity to say hello and share any thoughts you might have.
I just wanted to prove I was with them. Here's the drum they were playing. It's right here. And I took it with me from Morocco. Yeah, hi everyone. These tours are probably the most to do in my line of work. Seeing how music connects different people on different sides of the world, different languages, everything around music is just incredible. And I am not a musical person at all. Aaron and Tracy and Rachel will say this, that you will never hear me sing, but I definitely do enjoy hearing others do so. And it's quite an impactful thing to see yourself. So looking forward to seeing this. I think this will be my third time in Morocco. And let's go through the presentation.
Beautiful. And of course your Czech internet is it's a little iffy. I can hear you okay, but that's good. But the picture is a little iffy. But hopefully it holds on for you to walk us through this. So let's bring up the PowerPoint. We'll start to go through some of the highlights of the time we're going to spend together, and then, as I said, we'll open it up to Q&A. All right. Mr. Doron, you want to try to walk us through? And if you disappear, I'll take over.
So I guess we all hope I disappear. Hi everyone. ACC mission to Morocco in February of 2027. At the beginning of middle of February, from for the 14th to the 25th. That beautiful picture is actually in Fez, the Palace of Fez. But we can go to the next slide, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Am I the only one?
You should be able to see it now. Well, I can see it now. It's you too delayed, Daron. You're not getting the. That's okay. I'll take
I
over
don't think I'm
and.
delayed. I think you are.
Uh,
Okay, there we go. I think first of all, when going to Morocco, the first question is why Morocco? Why are we there, and why are we doing a Jewish heritage tour to Morocco? And it's very well in the Constitution of Morocco. So if you read it throughout that paragraph, this is on the entrance to the Jewish Museum of Casablanca. You will see the Kingdom of Morocco shall seek to preserve its diverse, indivisible national identity, its unity, which is built on the convergence of Arab, Islamic, Amazigh, Sahari Hassani components by Africa, Andalusian, Hebraic, and Mediterranean consonants. I ruined that last word. Anyway, Hebraic is right in the Constitution, and when we go throughout Morocco, we really realize that Morocco is one of the few countries that Jews are indigenous to. And it's something that we as American Jews or Westernized Jews don't really understand the deep, deep history of Judaism in Morocco and how there were Jewish Bedouins in the Sahara and the difference and the complexities which we really go into when we get to Morocco. But even to this day, on the newspaper, you'll have the Jewish calendar date on every newspaper printed because of the Hebraic culture in this country.
All right. I flipped to the next slide.
Perfect.
Can you see it, Daron? Great.
I can see it. I can see
great.
it. These
The
are just
internet's
the pictures
working.
from our trip to Argentina.
Yes.
Our flight to Guazú and our lovely closing concert in Buenos Aires. Those were very, very fun moments.
I love showing these slides because we can talk a lot about the future and what a wonderful opportunity you're going to have to join this trip, but to get to see a few of the pictures that kind of capture the energy and the spirit of having these experiences together. That's why I like to show these pictures. That was a beautiful concert we had in Buenos Aires on the left, and then a charter flight that we did within Argentina. So everybody on that plane is part of the ACC group. And looks like we're going to have the opportunity to do something similar. We'll talk about it in a little bit when we're together in Morocco.
So, Cantors touched upon the musical experiences before us, but just to go quickly, we're going to have a number of musical experiences, some led by us for the opening single-out concert, Kabbalat Shabbat, the closing event in the Agafe Desert, but also we're going to have sessions where we're going to sing and dance or experience local music. One of those will be the Gnawan music, which is like this African rhythmic kind of Hasidic, Claire called it, music. Or there's the call and return that we'll learn how to do that in Fez. That is the same in Judaism and in Islam, where someone says something and you return with a different part of the prayer. And also some Berber music. We'll hear it throughout. And we'll even learn how to play the talbuka and the Moroccan drums. And yeah.
All right. Another beautiful picture to give you a sense of the
From
place, and then onto cultures and markets. Did I lose you, Daron?
Nope.
No?
But I can't see the slide. So culture and markets is well, the Cantors already said that shopping is probably the most fun thing to do in Morocco because all the markets are just addicting, which is also a lot of fun for us to move the groups along the way. But we will make sure that you will have time to buy the things in the right places. I can promise you that. In Marrakesh, Marrakesh is known for the apothecaries, these people that take herbs and things like that, and oils that help you in your health, and metalworks. In Fez, the tannery and the rugs. Probably the best leather in the world is made in Fez, or they say it at least, and I'll believe them as they say it. The rugs, which are incredible pieces of work, and of course the pottery. On the way to Essaouira, we'll stop at the Women's Cooperative, which is really at some point, you're going to buy argan oil, which is considered a very healthy thing, but you're buying it from the actual women who pick the argan beans. They roast them. They with the Hebrew word fun. They grind them. They get the oil out of them. They make the products of it, and you know that money is going to go back to help that woman's family get food for that night, which is a very different thing than going to a Costco or something back in the US, which is something that you can do in Morocco. And with all these markets, we'll taste the foods that you can see and smell when you go through the markets, and you'll realize that it's it's not these tourist traps. It's actually all, and it's a lot of fun when you get to experience that.
All right. I will say, as we show this beautiful picture of a camel in the Agafay Desert outside of Marrakesh, that my hands, I've been using the argan oil lotion. My hands are like 10 years younger. It's absolutely amazing. All right. Doron, oh, did we lose Doron completely? All right. So we'll see. He had told me before he was having some trouble with his internet, so we'll see if he can get back. But of course, one of the things that's going to distinguish traveling on a group like this versus virtually any other tour is going to be the focus on Jewish heritage. So Doron mentioned before, Morocco is one of the only places in the world that can claim to have what is essentially an indigenous Jewish population. This is going back to the time of the destruction of the Second Temple. There is archaeological historical evidence that the Jewish community established here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to address it. And as he said, from the king on down, that is very much not just acknowledged, but protected, and they do a tremendous amount within Morocco to hold that Jewish heritage hand in hand with the country that Morocco is today. You are going to get to meet with members of the Jewish community today. Of course, a very large percentage of the community did emigrate, mostly to Israel, particularly in the 1950s after the establishment of the State of Israel. But there is still a small operating Jewish community today in Casablanca, in Marrakesh, and you will have the opportunity to interact with them. It happens that we have some really interesting connections with the Jewish community there, and you will get to take advantage of that being a part of this tour. As it says there, the Museum of Moroccan Judaism is the only Jewish museum operating in the Arab world. In addition, in Essaouira, there's an incredible place, the House of Memory, Beit Akira, that talks about the intertwined history and overlapping dynamic of Muslim and Jewish history. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to kind of both interact with and learn from this community. Yeah. In addition to that, of course, we have a series of artistic and culinary type experiences. So Doron started talking about some of the instrumentation. You saw a little bit in that video clip. Obviously, percussion is a big part of several of the musical traditions in Morocco. We talked about the argan oil. Yes, there's going to be a cooking class. There's actually a picture there from a cooking class. If you're familiar with the tagine, you see those kind of like kind of round pyramidal shaped objects that are used for cooking. I do know of folks that have traveled with us and that have actually brought clay tagine pots home to cook at home. So it is possible to do. Not so easy to put in your carry-on, but it is possible. And as it says there, for those interested, there's even a belly dancing class that we're going to work into the program. Should be a lot of fun, and it's cultural. It's okay. It's cultural. Okay. Beautiful picture from outside the palace in Fez from one of our groups. And we talked a little bit about some of these interfaith experiences. There's several that are listed here. Of course, you may have seen pictures of the absolutely really staggeringly large mosque in Casablanca, the Hassan II Mosque. This is a place large enough to hold inside and outside together close to 100,000 worshipers. It's one of the largest mosques in the world, and it's also distinguished as by being a place that non-Muslims can go inside. You're going to have the opportunity to go into the mosque, marvel at the craftsmanship that went into creating this place. It's absolutely stunning. On a much smaller scale, but much more personally meaningful level, we're going to have interactions with Association Mimouna. This is an incredible organization. This is started by Muslims in Morocco who wanted to promote and educate the Muslim population in Morocco about that Hebraic, that Jewish connection to the land. And they do incredible things. They as it says there, they work to promote Jewish Muslim friendship, but they do really incredible and inspiring things in a world where we're so every day we're just kind of inundated with these negative messages of division. They're doing the hard work on the ground to make the world a better place, and we're going to get to have a chance to hear from them, interact with them, listen to them, and it's really something special. So that's just want to highlight a couple of the things that are listed there. We talked about Beit Akira. This mentions particularly Professor Stateau, which the program with him is going to be very educational and enlightening, but he's a good example, not the only one. He's an example of some of the high-level scholarship that you're going to get on this trip. We have our own Dr. David Mendelson, who will be providing some pre-travel scholarship for those that do sign up for the trip. He's amazing. And he will introduce you as not just a historical scholar, he's a linguist. And that is such a unique perspective when you're talking about the overlap of these cultures. When he gets into these things, it's so illuminating to hear about the overlap, and what we think of as these like separate tracks are actually quite overlapped, and it's fascinating. So those are some of the types of experiences that we're really looking forward to creating for those of you that are joining. That's a picture from Essaouira. Just beyond that is the Pinto, the Jewish cemetery, the Chaim Pinto Jewish Cemetery, which has been sitting for hundreds of years on the coast, the Atlantic coast. You'll hear the stories when you get there about how it is mystically protected from the ocean. I don't want to steal the guide's thunder, but it's really an incredible story. And Essaouira itself, one of the main things that we did in updating the program recently, based on the experiences we had, is we changed the program to have Shabbat in Essaouira. Why? For a couple of reasons. Number one, Essaouira is a city with incredible Jewish history. This is a city that at its peak had over 50%. A majority of the population was Jewish. I'll say that again. 50%, over 50%, a majority of the population here in Essaouira was Jewish. And it's incredible to walk these streets and see these small houses of worship and the old homes, and know that this was a real living, thriving port city Jewish community. And to this day, it's a city of pilgrimage for Moroccan Jews and others to come back to this site. There's incredible history. You can feel that energy when it's there. When you're there, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. It also happens to be where Orson Welles filmed a lot of Othello in 1951, so that's also pretty cool. Okay, moving right along. Oops, I went too far. Okay, in addition to the main tour itself, which Daron put up the dates right at the beginning there, February 2027, we are offering a series of pre and post tours, so you can extend your stay pretty significantly. The first one that's listed there is the pre-tour to Agadir. This is something that's outside of the ordinary. This is not something that people do on a regular basis, and one of the incredible things is the reason that we're putting this together. The reason that this program exists is because of Rafi El Maleh. Rafi is a Moroccan guide. He's Jewish, and beyond being a tour guide, he is really one of the principal authorities on the Jewish experience in Morocco. He did a tremendous amount of the research in locating and renovating and restoring the synagogue in the area, and he's going to be there and accompany that pre-tour. It's a pretty extraordinary opportunity. In addition, there's also going to be pre and post tour opportunities to go up north to Tangier, to Chefchaouen, tomato, which is known as the Blue City. You can see the picture right there. It's absolutely stunning. You have an opportunity to go there. Or that picture in the little further up, that is a photo that I believe, Daron, you're back. I believe you took that photo yourself, correct?
Yeah, that is my regular camera taking that picture.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And probably one of the better experiences in my life, just staying in the Sahara,
Yeah.
being able to wake up to the quiet sand going by your ears, and you're not in the sand, you're in like this nice luxury glamping, but it is incredible waking up in the morning, seeing the sunrise over the dunes, just the surreal moment. And
Yeah,
yeah,
as they say, not camping but glamping. Very very different
not camping.
experience. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah,
just to go back to that pre-tour to Agadir, but also to the Sahara, what 90% of the people who come back from the Moroccan tours, and I believe the two cantors that came back also asked me this, is can we see any of the Berber synagogues that are still standing, or any of these synagogues that are outside of the city? And both the Agadir tour and the Sahara, we're going to see these synagogues that are within these Berber villages that are still standing. And for hundreds of years, the people who kept the keys to, well, not hundreds, 100 years, the people who kept the keys to these synagogues are Muslims who were just the neighbors, and they were told to keep the keys until the Jews would come to open the synagogue. So you could actually see these synagogues, and it's quite incredible. And don't miss out on it because you're going to want to see it after you finish the tour. I can pretty much promise you.
it's true. And it's yeah, yeah. I think you said it beautifully. You really you have these people that have taken family from generation to generation. They've taken responsibility to guard and keep these places until the Jews return. And it's kind of gives you chills to go and see it. Okay, moving right along. That's another pretty picture of a group that's there. There's the Hassan II Mosque that I was talking about earlier, and we're going to talk a little bit about the tour, the sort of options that you have in signing up for the trip. We are planning this with 2 different levels of hotels. So if you go to our website, which is ayelet.com, hopefully you know that by now, you'll see one of the tiles right on the homepage is a link to this tour. When you get there, we have both 5-star and 4-star level hotels offered, and you are welcome to choose either level. There are, of course, breakfast is daily included at the hotel, and there's several other meals that are included throughout. The tour itself includes, as it says there, guiding, professional escorting from our amazing staff, entrance fees, the incredible musical programs that the ACC is going to create, both in terms of concerts, prayer services, and also those kind of moments in between that Tracy Cantors talked about a little earlier. Those are incredible moments. Those little moments in between by bus, where they'll add a musical element to the experience you have. So. We'll talk a little bit. There's so much more to talk about, but let's get through this stuff and then we'll keep on going. Yes, as I said, you can just go to our website. That's the very long link. You don't have to remember that. Just go to alet.com or scan that QR code and you can register. Very pretty. Got to end with a very pretty picture. It's a beautiful picture. The memories last forever. And we've got lots more to talk about, but I do want to be respectful of people's time, so we'll start to get to Q&A relatively in short order here. But Daron, before we do that, anything else you want to make sure we cover? Here,
Putting me on the spot. I missed most of what you were saying. Thank you to the lovely Czech intranet. But what can I do? I think you've already understood that my key point here is the coexistence of Morocco, and I believe you didn't talk about the Sufi Zawiya in Essaouira, which is one of the most interesting places that I have been in all of Morocco. That you're welcomed as a Jew to go into. A Zawiya is a mosque of Sufis, just so we're okay. And for those of you who come on the tour, I'll explain to you why it's called a Zawiya and not a mosque. But we'll keep that as a cliffhanger. And it's so interesting to go into this Zawiya, and on one side of the wall you see part of the Kaaba, which is the most holy part of in the world for the Islam. The cover of it is on the wall. On the other side, you see a Star of David and a cross, all in the same building, all in Morocco. And I think it really does explain what Morocco is. So I hope I could stand with you in that building together in a year, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
But Q&A, Jeff.
All right, we got lots. I already have a couple of questions regarding the size of the group. Nina Morano writes in, what's the size of the group we will travel with? I would answer Nina by saying, first of all, from past experience with the ACC, we expect it to be anywhere from 100 to 200 people. It may be more, maybe less. But the thing for you to keep in mind is that regardless of the size of the group, you are not going to be traveling in lockstep with 200 people. That's not the way that we run this operation. That's not the way that this program works. Essentially, you are going to have one bus that you are going to be a part of. That bus will remain your bus, your community, your group throughout. And although each bus will go and visit the same sites, have the same experiences, they will not necessarily do them in the same order. They will kind of do a little dance in terms of where you are and when. And we will come together at the times where it makes sense for everybody as a group to come together, for Shabbat services, for the concerts, for any high-level lectures, presentations. Those are the times that we all get to come together and get to take advantage of the fact that we have such a large group to share these experiences together. But otherwise, you'll travel as an individual bus. All right. Daron, anything you want to add to that one? Okay.
Nope. Even the meals on this one, we're going to make sure that we're more in the bus conduits rather than a big group. We're just going to be together in the big musical events, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Tom Keating would like to know, will the Moroccan music and cultural experiences on the trip include their histories? I'm going to assume that was supposed to say arts and all. Otherwise, he's asking about warts, and I don't think that's right. So Moroccan music and cultural experiences, will we talk about the history and the art, or are we just talking about the Jewish aspects?
Of course. You can't talk about the Jewish aspect without talking about the non-Jewish aspect. We're going to go through the history of the different groups that we're going to talk about. If you come to Morocco, you'll see this crazy map of the history of Morocco, and you'll see that there's so many different people converging all to one. And to explain one, you must explain the other. So, of course, we'll talk about the history, and we'll see art throughout.
Can I just add that Moroccan music is a combination of Sephardic music, but with influences of North Africa and of Arabic music. And I mean, I don't know, Claire, if you want to chime in, but they taught us we did some call and response things, and they taught us some of the music, and I've never sung anything like that, but it was really cool. I just felt like I was singing Arabic music. So it's a very different kind of music, but combines from different influences.
And French as well. So there's there, and then yeah, it it's interesting because it's very different, and yet somehow it spoke to our souls. We talked about how it felt very natural and very comfortable to hear it or to sing it, but it's almost like it is a different language, and it's a different musical language. So replicating some of the sounds, had us in fits of giggles because they're not natural for us. Much the same way, many of our bar mitzvah kids struggle with ch. We were struggling with some of the dialect, but it's very different. Somebody actually asked a question about the Sephardi influence and the since a lot of us are Ashka normative, but we're doing our homework and discussing. And I think was it Donna this question? Because there's somebody that I thought you're on our list of people to discuss it with. So we're going to reach out to some of our colleagues and to other people to hopefully bring some of the authentic music to our own experiences as Jews as well. So.
Okay. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Tracy. We've got some more kind of logistically minded questions here. Doron, you want to talk a little bit about flights, how flights are going to be handled, group flights versus individual, where you fly into, where you fly out of, where we're going to have flights from? Flights.
Yes. Flights are planes.
Flights are planes.
So we will fly, for those not doing the pre-tours, that you will fly into Casablanca, and you will leave from the Casablanca or Marrakesh airports. We will provide transfers for people arriving and leaving on the first and last day of the tour. For people coming for the pre-tours and the post-tours, which are not on the website yet, I also saw that question was on there. They will be on the website probably by beginning of next week. Then you either land into Agadir or into Tangier. We will have group flights with Royal Air Maroc coming from Miami, LA, and New York, because those are the places that they fly from. And we also have a full-fledged flight department that can assist you in booking flights should you want to come a day early, a day later, and all the deviations of the sort.
And I mentioned earlier in the program that we're going to have a charter flight in the middle. Obviously, even though that's air and the tour itself is packaged as land only, that air flight, that internal flight, is included in the land package, just so people have that information. And that is planned from Fez to Essaouira, correct, Doron?
Indeed.
Okay. A couple people asking about how many people will be on each bus.
So usually our numbers are between just under 30 to 35 people per bus. We try not to go too high, so you have room on your bus to breathe, and we can walk as one group without it being too difficult. We will also have probably going to be up on the website in about a week and a half, what in Argentina was called the Silver Bus, which is more of a take it easy kind of experience for those who are a little bit more difficult in walking. And we'll use vans to get you closer to the places than where a bus could take you. There will be a small supplement to join those groups. But anyone who wants to register for that, please feel free to talk to me at a later date, not in this consideration.
So on that topic, there are several people that asked, how much walking would you expect to do on a daily basis?
How much walking would I expect to do? So every day is a little bit different. Days in Fez, for example, has more walking than a day in Casablanca. But in general, you should assume that we're walking most of the day with stops. So about 5 to 10 minutes of walking, and we stop for 5 to 10 minutes, and we continue. I would say a mile is usually a good idea, but it could be more or less depending on the day and where we're going.
Okay, so I have one person. I might try to share my screen in a second again, but before I do, a couple of people. I know you said that the information about the pre-tours is going to be on the website, hopefully by next week. Do we have specific dates for the Agadir pre-trip? Do you remember what date that starts?
On the 11th of February.
All right, beautiful. Look at you. I would put you on the spot. I thought I would. Okay, so we have a couple of people that were asking in terms of how you sign up and what does that look like. I just want to see if I can try to share my screen for uno momento. And I just want to show you a couple of things. Number one, hopefully give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen there. Awesome, cool. All right, so this is what it's going to look like when you get to the website for the trip. Of course, there's a bunch of pretty pictures and there's a couple buttons over here. One is the full day-by-day itinerary, so you can click here and see everything day by day that we have planned already. Of course, subject to change because new opportunities and experiences are always coming up. We're going to enhance the program any way we can as we get closer to departure. And of course, there's a PDF flyer you can look and kind of see some of the high-level information. But as you scroll down, you'll see there are different, there's this very large chart, which you might not be able to see very closely, but that's okay. You can go to on your computer and you can see it, but you'll see basically this one says main tour only, deluxe hotels, main tour only, super deluxe, main tour plus Tangier deluxe, and et cetera, et cetera. The only one that's not on here so far is Agadir, which is coming soon, as Daron mentioned. And then you just click the book button to sign up and register. Somebody asked, the question that they asked is, how do I note who I am joining in terms of that there's a particular cantor that you're going to join? So after you click book and you choose how many people are traveling, oops, sorry, apparently I had that window open for too long before I clicked it. I'll try this one more time. After you click book and decide how many people are going, etc., etc., it's going to pull up a screen where there's several different options. One of those options, first of all, you see the early bird discount that's still going on right now, is this right here. It says, I am joining. And assuming you have a cantor that you are joining, there is a very long list theoretically in alphabetical order by last name of the various cantors that are working with us to bring groups on this trip. And that is where you would select, and that's how we know who you are joining and in theory which bus you're going to be on, because yes, we will keep congregations together unless somebody specifically asks not to be with members of their congregation. Hopefully nobody does
I hope
that.
that doesn't happen.
Never would that happen.
happens on day 4, not on the...
Sorry. Okay. Moving right along from that, we've got a couple of questions about food. Arthur Seltzer writes in, is there always a vegetarian, if not kosher option? What about travel on Shabbat? Daron, you want to talk a little bit about kashrut and Shabbat on this trip?
Yeah. So all food will be kosher style. That means that there will not be meat and dairy together in the same dish, and we will not be serving pork, nor shellfish, nor any treif. There will always be a vegetarian option for those who either don't want to eat meat or don't eat non-hechshered meat. And if you have any other dietary restriction, we can deal with it pretty well in Morocco. They are very, very accommodating. There will not be travel on Shabbat. We are going to be in Essaouira, and everything in Essaouira will be walking distance, because Essaouira in general, everything is walking distance. So it's quite a nice place to be on Shabbat. So no driving on Shabbat.
Beautiful. All right. As long as we were semi on the food topic, I have somebody who's concerned about, travel belly, gastrointestinal issues, and what to expect when going to Morocco.
So the food is delicious, incredible, lovely, and everything. Just like when traveling in any place in the world, you run the risk of not being accustomed to the local food. When we will give you a meal, and these are places that are tried and tested, we've sent people there, our colleagues have sent people there, and they know they are completely fine to eat the salads, anything. When you're on your own, we do recommend that you go to places that are either recommended by us or by the concierge of the hotel. And if you have a very strong stomach, then you can go wherever you want, but if not, go to the places that are recommended.
And most importantly, don't drink the water. And that's a rule of thumb anywhere you go in the world. Even if it's water that's okay for the locals to drink, it's not a good idea for you as a traveler. It's one of the easiest things you can do to try to stay healthy throughout the entire trip. Very, very important to keep in mind.
And the rooms always have bottles of water for people.
Everywhere
There's
we
plenty
went.
of water.
Anywhere we
Absolutely.
went, anybody we met with, people were giving us bottles of water. Jeff, I'm sorry, I hope this is okay, but I saw a couple questions about safety, and I
Yeah.
actually wanted to say something about that because I was a little nervous about going, excited and a little nervous, and I came home saying that I live on Long Island. That's just outside of New York City. I would feel safer wearing a Jewish star in Morocco than I would in New York City right now. And I was really, really surprised to see that I felt that way. My husband had his big gold chai on at the pool and made friends with an Orthodox Jew from France. But like, nobody, yes, people that know Alan know that that's normal. But just that I was sorry that I didn't have it with me because I had left it at home thinking about what does it mean to be Jewish in an Arab country. But I really felt safer there than I do in New York City with a star on.
Yeah, and it's it's hard to try to kind of square with what you see in media and elsewhere, but that I share that experience with you. There are times where in Marrakesh during pilgrimage seasons where you hear as much Hebrew as any other language on the street there. It's there is no perfect place. This is not paradise. There's always problems. You have to always be vigilant in where you go and when you go, and you've got to be aware of your surroundings. That's the world we live in. But having said that, Morocco is an extremely welcoming place, not just for foreigners, for visitors, but specifically for Jews. And as I said earlier, that is an edict really from the king on down. And you will see that, you will hear that time and again when you're there. My goodness, we have a lot of questions. They keep coming in. All right, we've got somebody who we touched on before.
Jeff,
Oh yeah, sure.
sorry, I do think it's important to note because Daron
Yeah.
talked to us about this when we were there that we do travel with security, that it's not, we are aware that in large groups and where we draw attention to ourselves that we have security details and everything's vetted. So not just that it's a wonderful place and we all feel safe there, that you guys take the proper precautions to make sure that we're able to move through traffic properly and all those kind of things.
Yeah, and it's sorry, Duran. Looks like go ahead.
Yeah, the Moroccan government has spent millions, if not billions, on ensuring North American travel and specifically Jewish travel to these areas. And it's felt, but also honestly, I last time, not this past time, but the time before, I ran around Morocco with my Israeli army shirts, and I felt completely fine. So it's don't do that, but still, it's much better than it's not what people think before they go there.
And
Uh,
I just want
yeah,
I
sure.
just want to say one more thing on security. The ACC takes our responsibility of being the sponsors of this trip incredibly seriously, and we work constantly with Daron and Jeff and their team on the ground to make sure that the places we go, the people with whom we meet, everything has been vetted. But our biggest goal is if there is a little issue, maybe the air conditioning's not working or something else is happening, that you as participants don't see the behind the scenes. So we may say a location has changed, but it could be because the bathrooms are not cooperating that day. So we take it all really seriously and we are in constant contact. The leadership, the staff of the ACC who travel, usually me, and also our cantors who are heading up our different groups. We're in communication with the people on the ground. So we take that very, very seriously.
Absolutely. All right, nice. We got some lovely questions out here. Marshall Littman writes in, I went on an Ayelet trip to Morocco in 2023, felt very safe and loved the experience. I am seriously considering this trip, having done the wonderful ACC trip to Argentina last year. Thanks, Marshall. Nice to hear from you. Also writing in, so somewhere here, I don't know where it went, there was a question about where did it go? There was a question about vaccination, which was from Shirley Wise, who traveled with us also to Argentina last year. And should be in Mexico on a group with us right now. Shirley, what are you doing watching this program? She was asking if there are specific vaccinations required for travel to Morocco at this time. The one thing I will say, obviously everybody's shaking their head no. The one thing I will say, of course, is you're always encouraged, and we'll send out reminders to check the CDC website. There's a difference between required and recommended. Some people are want to be very vigilant about following everything that's recommended versus what's required. So you should absolutely go and check and on your own make sure that you're comfortable traveling. Question from Mina Immerman, who would like to know a little bit about the weather this time of year. Having just been there, Cantor Sher and Cantor Franco, everybody gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, they told us when we got there, like all of the days before we came and after we left were in the low 70s, and when we were there, it was in the mid 60s, and they considered it cold. So it's pretty nice. I mean, you're coming, Minna, from New York, so it is going to be a sweet place to be in February.
It's
Yeah.
a good
It
time of
was
year to
great.
visit.
We actually spent a couple days we stayed after, and spent a day by the pool in the very hot sun. It's warmer during the day. Layers, as when you travel anywhere at this time of year, layers are good, but we never needed like a heavy coat. It was really quite perfect. It rained a little bit one day, but
Yeah. Um,
Hey, Jeff, we have a lot of
yes.
questions about finding roommates.
Yes, we do. I saw
Let's
that one.
talk
So
about
Susan Forte just wrote in: if someone traveling, if traveling alone, can you assign to a double room with someone else, or do we need to find a companion to room with? So the short answer is, Tracy's got to go. Okay. So the short answer is, we will work with you to try to find you a roommate. Obviously, if we cannot find you somebody, the single supplement, the cost to be in a single room without a roommate would apply. But we will, assuming there are others that want to share, we will connect you to somebody, and then you will have the opportunity to decide that this is somebody that you want to share with throughout the trip. You just let us know, and we will match you together. So the answer is, in short, is yes. We've got a question about money. And of course, just a reminder, in addition to some of the scholarly programs that we're going to do in advance of the actual trip, we're also going to do a pre-departure call for those that have signed up, where we're going to go through every nitty-gritty detail about money exchange and communication, and the WhatsApp group that we're going to set up, and and transfers upon arrival, and all of these sorts of things. So don't feel like we have to answer every single question today. Don't worry. When we get closer, we're going to do another call. But I do want to be respectful of people's time as we get to the hour mark. But we'll answer a couple more, and then we'll start to wrap up here. There were a couple questions about free time. Abigail Wacheldor wrote in, how much free time is there?
How much free time is there? There will be free time. Somewhere is built as a day with as a place with more laid back time. In Marrakesh as well, you will have more laid back time free for shopping and things like that. An exact number, of course, I cannot give you today, but free time is built into the itinerary, indeed.
Okay.
And if you don't want to shop, there are always other things that either the team, the guides, or the concierge can recommend. And the other thing to say about free time is if you need a break, take a break.
Yeah.
We
You're
don't want
not
anyone to
required,
exhaust
right?
themselves. You're not
Yeah.
required to do every single thing except get on the bus or the plane when we're moving between cities. But if you need a break, please take the break.
Well,
So it's
yeah.
sort of free time on your own.
The only requirement we have, of course, is if you're going to go off on your own, let the guide know, let us know, so we're not looking for you. That's the only thing we would ask. A couple questions about the differences in terms of hotel levels, and then we'll deal with cancellation, and then we'll start to wrap up here. And again, I promise we'll have another call before we all actually travel. And so, Doron, you want to talk a little bit about the different hotel options?
Of course. But first of all, even if the call ends and you have more questions, feel free to reach out to our office or to myself, Doron@ayot.com, and we're really happy to answer any question that you might have. The difference between the hotel levels is truly 5-star and 4-star. So the 5-star, the super deluxe, is all the frills, with the concierge and turn down service and all that lovely stuff. And 4-star is a clean room, private bathroom, non-smoking rooms, everything as you would want. Just you don't have the extra whipped cream on top, I would say. Nice hotels, definitely what you need in order to get through the trip, with all the services that are needed.
For sure. All right. Cancellation policy, just so everybody knows, you're welcome to review it. It's online. It's on our website. But essentially, as you get closer to departure, of course, it becomes larger cancellation penalty until the point where when you get very close, it goes to fully non-refundable. The key takeaway here is generally, if you're going to have to cancel, and it's for something that would be covered by travel insurance, you want to have travel insurance. So we do offer a policy that is through TravelX. It's just a checkbox during the registration process. You check it off, and then we'll add it to your reservation afterwards. And if God forbid you have to cancel at the last minute, when cancellation penalties are more significant, hopefully it'll be something that you can then claim from travel insurance. So, as I said, all of the details of the policy are on our website. You can click through and read everything there. My goodness, so many questions still being asked. Average age of participants. I would say in general, first of all, this is open to all. I would say this is not designed to be like a tour for kids. Generally, on a trip like this, you're going to have empty nesters, retirees. Even in Argentina, though, we had a few younger participants who greatly appreciated the experience. It was very positively received. So if you have a child or a grandchild that you're interested in taking and you want to know whether it would be a good fit or not, it's worth having a conversation with us. Speak to me, speak to Daron, and we can help you to talk through whether or not it's a fit. Okay. One last one, we'll wrap up. In case of emergency or serious illness, what's the access to medical care? For better or worse, the nature of running a tour company for the last 40 years, my goodness, since 1986, the 40 years, we do occasionally have instances where we have to deal with emergency medical situations. And indeed, we have had that in Morocco. I would say, and Daron, you can feel free to disagree, but I would say that we have found the quality of care in Morocco to be outstanding. We've had situations where people have had to go to medical facilities, and more commonly is something where, whether it's dehydration or gastrointestinal issue, something like that, we can actually get a doctor to come to the hotel to meet with you, and they're really top notch. That has been my experience. I don't know, Daron, if you've experienced something otherwise.
I've never had a complaint about any medical providers in Morocco.
So there you have it. And as Daron's signal goes,
medical providers in other countries, so we know the ones in Morocco are good.
Yeah, he only pays he only pays for internet until 1 a.m. and then it gets cut off. So we're all right. So that must be the sign that it's time to wrap up. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Cantor Franco and Cantor Schur, who had to leave a little early, and to Rachel Roth from the ACC for entrusting us and partnering with us in creating this trip. For all of you out there that are considering the trip, we're here to help answer your questions. I hope that you've been inspired to join next year. We will be celebrating, singing, learning together next year, right around this time in Morocco. So all of the information, as I said, is at ayelet.com. Other questions, feel free to reach out. And any closing comments, anything else? Rachel, Cantor Franco, before we wrap up here?
I would like to thank everyone for coming. Please feel free to reach out to Daron. I'm going to give you his email address because it's really easy and it's everywhere anyway. It's daron@ielit.com. If you
And
guess, you'll figure it out. Feel free to reach out to Daron. Feel free to reach out to me. We will be happy to connect you to the people who can answer your questions. These trips are really amazing, and we hope that everyone who is watching this webinar with us, whether live or on recording, that you sign up.
God willing. Thank you, Rachel. Cantor
Cantor
Franco.
Franco.
Thank you. All right. Daron, thank you so
Jeff.
much. Absolutely.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you, Rachel.
My pleasure.